Welcome back. In this video we are going to learn about how to install SQL Server for SXC Business Suite. So, let us look at the components we need on the server. The first thing that we need is a database, for which we need Microsoft SQL Server. This will be the data store for all our organizational data, and all the clients will connect to this server to save and retrieve data. The first thing we need to do is download the setup for Microsoft SQL Server. Let us head back to the Sunwheel Solutions website and go to the Downloads page of SXC Business Suite. If you are using Windows 10 or above, then you should go for SQL Server 2014 Express. Otherwise, if you are using Windows 7, you should install the Express edition of SQL Server 2008 R2. The next thing you need to decide is whether you need a 32-bit or a 64-bit version. This will depend on the Windows version you are installing on. If you want to check whether your Windows is 64-bit or 32-bit version, then you can go to your system properties. If your Windows is 64-bit version, it will be mentioned as 64-bit operating system, otherwise it is a 32-bit operating system. Once you have decided which version of SQL Server you need, click on the Go to Microsoft website link, as we will be downloading this from the Microsoft's website. There are many files on Microsoft's website for SQL Server. Make sure that you download the WT version as shown in the video. Choose x86 if you want to download the 32-bit version, otherwise choose the x64 file for 64-bit version. Click on Next button on this screen to start your download. Once you have downloaded the installation file, you can start the setup. If you are installing the 2014 version, it might ask you for a location to extract the files first. Then, from that location, you might have to start the setup manually. If you are using Windows 7, make sure you have Service Pack 1 installed, otherwise you may face unexpected problems and issues during installation, or later while using the software. Once the setup has started, you will see this screen. Click on New Instance link on the top to start the process for a fresh installation. Go through the license agreement, and then click on Next. Here, in this step, it is installing the setup support files. You will see this step only if your system requires it. There are a couple of steps that need to be done for this installation to be done properly. In this features selection screen, you can go ahead with the default selected features. So we will press Next and proceed. In this instance configuration screen, we can either choose default instance or specify in SQL Server instance name. We will click on the default instance option and click Next. In this server configuration screen as well, just let the default option selected and click Next. In this screen, we need to do a couple of things. First, we need to choose the mixed mode authentication and specify a password for the admin account. Please note that for the SQL Server, the admin account username is SA in lowercase. Second, we can specify the user database directory of our choice, so that our database files are not deep inside the folder hierarchy of SQL Server. Also, you might want to choose a different drive and path for other reasons. We will now press Next, and the setup will commence with the installation, based on the information gathered from us. This usually takes a few minutes, so I will pause the video and resume once it is about to be completed. Congratulations! You have now successfully installed Microsoft SQL Server, and you can now proceed with the next steps.